over 9 million middle-class Americans claimed in 2015, including over 1 million taxpayers in my home state of California. This is especially harmful to older Americans struggling with high medical costs and serious illnesses like cancer and Alzheimer's and Americans with disabilities. It takes direct aim at college students across the country, raising the future costs of higher education by $65 billion over 10 years by eliminating the deductibility of interest on student loans. It taxes employer tuition assistance benefits for students and tuition waivers for graduate students by treating this as income, making it more expensive for future scientists, medical professionals, educators, and other leaders to get an education. The lifetime learning credit and the deductibility of interest of student loans at a time when student loan debt in the United States just reached $1.5 trillion. This is a bitter pill to ask our nation's student borrowers to swallow. Very importantly for my constituents, this bill bulldozes the state and local tax deduction. Almost 200,000 of my constituents claimed an average state and local tax deduction of $31,193 in 2015. But under this plan, businesses can still claim this deduction. For example, the National Education Association estimates are that 250,000 education jobs will be put at risk because of this lack of deductibility. And just yesterday, the Fraternal Order of Police spoke out in opposition to this bill's dismantling of this deduction, noting that their salaries and the equipment that they use are paid for by state and local taxes on property sales and income. The Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy found that California stands to be the biggest overall loser in this plan and faces a $12.1 billion tax increase in 2017 alone. The bill also takes aim at the most valuable asset of the middle class, their home. It limits the mortgage interest deduction used by homeowners, and this is eminently unfair. Californians just experienced the worst wildfires in our state's history, with over 14,000 homes lost. What does this bill do? It removes the deductibility for property losses due to natural disasters. I find this to be especially cruel. What the bill does do is to take special care of the wealthiest 5,500 estates in this country by doubling the estate tax exemption to $22 million and then repealing it, removing the whole thing by 2024. Finally, the bill has terrible implications for the future of Medicare and the guarantee it's provided for Americans over 50 years. Without budget changes to offset the $1.5 trillion increase to deficits over 10 years, the bill will trigger automatic spending cuts under the statutory pay-as-you-go. The Republican majority and the administration claim that this tax plan will, quote, pay for itself. It's bad math, because we were promised in the early 2000s that jobs would be created, that the economy would grow, and what the outcome was, $1.8 trillion of debt. The investments that pay off the most are the investments we make in the American people, in education, in job creation, in infrastructure. These are critical areas that always expand our economy. This House should reject this unfair, unbalanced, fiscally irresponsible plan that dims the future of our country by attacking the middle class.